Hey everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're doing another first impressions and review, and today we are looking at these new face brushes which I picked up. These are some oval face brushes from Makeup Revolution, and I've never tried anything like these before, so I'm going to try and use as many products as I can with them today. So please give it a big thumbs up if you like it, and let me know if you've tried any of these as well down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe as well, because I'm here every Wednesday and Sunday with new videos for you as well. So if you want to see how we've got along with these new makeup brushes, then keep watching. So today I'm going to be giving my first impressions and review and things like that on this new brush set which I recently picked up, and it's from Makeup Revolution, and it's the oval brushes which I'm sure you've seen everywhere. But they're really pretty, and I've been wanting to try oval brushes for ages, and I saw this brush set and they looked really nice. It was only $19.99, which I thought was quite reasonable to be honest, and I've always wanted to try these but I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So here are the brushes, and they're in a really nice rose gold shade. They're so pretty, and I'm actually really surprised at how lightweight they are. I thought they were going to be a lot heavier, and the bristles as well feel really soft. I'm not sure what they're actually made out of because it doesn't say on the packet, but they feel really nice. So the biggest one is this one. This is the oval face brush, and it says that this one is perfect for blending out contour, bronzer, blusher or finishing powder. So this one to me feels like the most multitasking. I feel like you could do anything with this really. You could apply your foundation with this, and you could also use this for powders as well, which I find really interesting. I didn't know that you could use them for powders as well. So this one is the middle-sized one. It's a lot smaller than the oval face brush. This one is called the oval cheek brush, and it says that this one is perfect for sculpting out the cheekbones. So I'm guessing that this one's going to be mostly used for cream contouring and things like that. And then finally the smallest one is this one. This is called the oval shape, and it says perfect for shading and highlighting the smaller areas of the face. And you can also use this with your concealer as well, which is probably what I'm going to use it for. I think you could also cream contour with this one as well because it's nice and precise. So I just wanted to quickly show you the different sizes. There obviously is a big difference between this bigger one and the two smaller ones, whereas the two smaller ones, I didn't really see that much difference to be honest. I think you could use them both for the same thing. I'm going to do my full face today using just these three brushes, and I'm going to use all liquids, creams and powders as well because I'm excited to see how they work with all of them. And I know in my tutorials and things like that I do usually use my Real Techniques beauty sponge to do my foundation and concealer, but sometimes I'm just lazy and I do actually like to use brushes. I've got lots of different brushes that I like to apply my foundation and concealer and things like that. So I do actually like to use brushes to apply my base, and today I'm excited to use these. They feel so soft as well. So for my foundation I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match because I'm quite confident in using this foundation because I've used it for so long now, and I want to use a foundation that I'm familiar with because I want to see if it looks any different using this brush or not. So I'm going to apply a couple of pumps to the back of my hand. I haven't primed or anything today because again I've been lazy. So I'm going to use the bigger brush. I'm just going to dab it slightly into the foundation, and I'm just going to start rubbing it on. I do really like the feel of the bristles because they are very soft, but they're also very dense as well, and I usually use quite a dense brush to do my foundation and concealer if I'm using a brush, so it does feel really nice. So I'm not really sure how you're supposed to hold the brush. It feels a bit small to hold it like that. It doesn't feel right. I do feel like I need to give it support because this bit does move a little bit. It feels a little bit flimsy. So I do feel like I need to hold it like this just to give it a little bit more support. But it feels really nice, and it's blending my foundation out really nice as well. It's so quick to use. Like all that area is literally done in a couple of swipes. Even though it's big, it's nice and precise around my brow as well because the brushes are shaped like ovally, it's not completely flat. So you can actually get nice and precise around the edges of your face and around the brows and things like that. I am just going to apply a little bit more to the centre of my face just to see how it layers, because I do feel like the brush is ate up a little bit of my product as well, which I don't really mind because I think that sponges are the worst doing that, so I don't mind it eating a little bit of my product. It's actually applied my foundation better than all the other brushes that I use. I'm not sure whether it beats my sponge because I do prefer to use a sponge, but this is getting really close, so I really like it. So this one foundation gets a massive mark from me. It's left me with really nice flawless skin, and this one is definitely going to be my everyday makeup brush from now on when I'm not using a sponge, because I feel like I can apply less for less coverage, or I can build it up as well like I have done today for a more full coverage, and it looks so nice. Probably the quickest way I've applied my foundation as well. You literally just do that and you're done, so this is really helpful. Moving on to my concealer, I'm going to use the smallest one for this. I'm going to apply the concealer to my skin and then blend it out with a brush after, because that's what I would usually use if I was using a brush to buff it out. So I'm going to use what am I using today? The Naked Skin Concealer from Urban Decay, because I always use them. I'm mixing together light neutral and light warm. Okay, so I'm interested to see how these blend out. Again, I don't know how to hold it. That's the only thing that makes me feel uncomfortable. I really need to hold it like that, I think, with my finger at the end. And I'm just tapping and buffing in because we've applied foundation, so we don't want to start rubbing things around or else it might bring up the foundation from underneath, which is what we don't want. So when I do use brushes, I do like to just tap it in, because I don't like moving product around too much. This actually seems to be working really nicely. The fact that they are so lightweight just makes them really easy to sort of manoeuvre around and just get in all those precise areas. I will honestly say I didn't think they were going to be as good as this. I really didn't. I didn't know what to think of oval face brushes. I didn't know whether they were a bit of a gimmicky product, but I've seen some of them are so expensive, so I wanted to try a less expensive version because I didn't want to spend all the money and not like them, but these are really nice. So my under eyes, I think, are the main part, and you don't want to mess this bit up, so I am just patting. And obviously I've done my winged liner already as well, so I'm just going to take this up to sharpen that edge, which it has done really well, and that just looks absolutely flawless. What I'm going to do is just take the bigger one that we used for the foundation, and it's not got any extra foundation on. I'm just going to pat that in just so all where the concealer meets and the foundation, it's all nice and blended. I honestly can't get over like how flawless my skin looks. I think that now I've put my concealer on, I would say that this looks pretty much the same as when I used a beauty blender. I can't really see much difference. It's applied it literally just the same. It looks really good. I really like them. Moving on to the middle sized one now. I'm going to be doing not cream contouring as such, but I'm going to use a bronzer to sort of I can't get my words out, cream contour slash bronze up the face. And I think this is a nice test because sometimes when I do apply cream products with a brush over my base, sometimes it can pull up and move the product around, and because we have built up quite a full coverage now, we've not set anything with powder, so once we apply the cream and start blending that out, we don't want to sort of move anything around. We want it to all blend in nicely together. I'm going to use the Chanel cream bronzer, but of course you don't have to be Chanel. Not just being bougie, it is the only cream bronzer that I've got, and I absolutely love this as well. So what I'm going to do is swirl my brush around in it. So I'm going to apply it in the areas which I would contour. And I'm just going to keep picking up little bits at a time because I really don't want to ruin my base because I really like it. So once I put it in that area, I'm patting it rather than rubbing it because we don't want to move anything around. And I'm also bringing it up onto the cheek as well. I think what does really help with these brushes is that because they are so dense, you don't really have to rub them around to blend the product. You can pat them and it does really blend it out really nice. So that is one good thing I would say. Obviously I've not tried any other oval brushes before. I've only ever tried these and this is my first time. So my first impressions are really good. I'd be intrigued to try some more just so I can see the difference between the two different kinds. To be honest, I can't really see that there's going to be much difference if I spend £100 on a set or if I spend £19.99 on a set, because this one is honestly really, really good. And then obviously if you do want to sharpen up that bit, just take the brush that you've used for your concealer and just run it underneath. It's just so easy. Everything is so easy to apply. I really like it. I'm just going to try a tiny bit of blush. This is Secret Blush in the shade number 4 Nectar, and I'm using the medium one again, which we've just used for the bronzer, and I'm just going to wipe it over the top. And I'm just going to pat it onto the cheeks. I'm so happy with my base right now. I really didn't think that I was going to like them as much as that, and I didn't think I'd be able to build up like really nice full coverage with them either, which I have done, and it looks so good. I'm just going to quickly clean off the brushes and get all the product off them, because we've tried them with cream and we've tried them with liquids, but we need to try them with powder now. So I'm just going to quickly clean them off so we can use them with my powders and things like that. So I'll be back in 1 second. I'm going to move on to powders now, which I'm a little bit nervous about using them with powders because the brushes are really dense, and I wouldn't usually use a really dense brush for powders. So I'm going to do under eyes first. I'm going to use a loose powder for this one. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I have left it a lot longer than I usually would to set my under eyes, so they probably started creasing already, but that's only because I didn't set them straight away. So I'm just going to use the smallest one, the one that we did use for the concealer, and just pat some of the powder in. Pat some of the powder in, pat the brush in, and tap the powder off. The same as when I would use a sponge to do it, because I usually do it as if I am baking, but then I brush it straight off. So I'm just gonna dust my brush off like that and just flick off any extra powder. So I'm really, really happy with that. I want to try it with pressed powder as well, because I just want to try everything that I can, because this is a first impressions video. So for the rest of my face, I'm going to use the big one and my pressed powder. This is a translucent powder from Rimmel. And again, I'm just going to swirl it around, and I'm going to tap this everywhere where I would maybe get a bit oily during the day. So on the chin and on the centre of my forehead, down the sides of my nose and on my nose as well, because that bit always wears off. Now I'm going to apply my highlighter. I'm going to use a pressed powder one, and this is going to be interesting again because as I apply the highlighter I do need to buff the brush around on this one, so hopefully it won't disturb anything underneath. I'm going to start with this baked bronzer from Milani, and this is in the shade Glow. I'm going to use the side of the brush rather than the very top for this one, so I'm just going to swipe it along like that so I can just use the edge. Okay, I think we need to go in with proper highlight because I can't really see that doing anything. I can see a little bit, not much. I can usually see more than what I'm seeing now when I usually apply it. So we're going to move on to this highlighter. This is the Mark Soft and Gentle. It's a mineralized skin finish. And again, I'm just going to take the side. That is what we need. Yes. So I'm using the very side of the brush rather than the top, and it's working really well. It's not moving anything around. Just quickly finished off the rest of my makeup real quick. So my first impressions of these, I actually really like them. I honestly wasn't really expecting miracles. I thought they're just going to be like normal brushes. This one is definitely my favourite, I would say, because you can use this one for so many different things. I'll be using this for my foundation, my moisturiser, my primer, and you can even cream bronze and things with this as well because it's not actually that big. So this one is definitely going to be my most used. I think they do all come separate as well. I know definitely this one does, but I'm not 100% sure about the other two, but I think that they do all come separate as well. These two as well worked absolutely amazing, and again I'll use them pretty much as well the same as I've used today. I'm going to carry on using them. Totally honest, if I only had one of them I would be fine. Like, I don't definitely need both of them. Even though they are both different sizes, I feel like you can do the same with both of them. So me personally, I probably wouldn't need both of them. It is nice though to have two, because it means that you don't have to keep on cleaning them in between, so you can keep one for your concealer and then the other one for your cream contour as well. But for me personally, I could do with one, but it's nice that I have got two, and I think the set is really good value as well. I like that they are so lightweight. The bristles and the brush heads are so amazing, and of course they're rose gold as well, so they look super pretty as well. If I was gonna say anything, I would say that this one doesn't feel the most sturdy because it's got the larger brush head with a thinner handle, whereas these ones, when I'm applying product, feel absolutely fine. And they applied all of my products absolutely flawlessly. I probably won't use them for powders as much, but I'll definitely will still use them for powders, especially like my powder foundations and things like that. And I think that they also do the same brushes like this but for the eyes as well, which they would be really interesting to try because I'm not sure how they would work. And I've never tried Makeup Revolution either before, so by these I really like them, so I'll definitely look into trying more makeup from them as well. So that completes today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did down in the comments below, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!